Well, between last night and I guess a couple of days ago and this morning, there's just a lot to unpack. The silent are tired of being silent. We have a voice. After listening to Pinball, Preparedness, TJ Preps, Prepper Nation, Prepper Now, Angry Prepper, Alaska Prepper, there's others. They're all talking about things that I've been talking about with my family about standing up and that we can only be quiet for so long. And it's not just talking about it. We have to do something. We can't comply with the stuff that's going on, or they're just going to take their inch and, take a mile and take our freedom. This morning I woke up, had coffee, let the dog out. My husband went to work. My daughter's on online school. Around 8:30, my daughter decided that she wanted home fries. So I'm there at the counter cutting potatoes to season and make her home fries. And my husband texts me and says that I'm going to be home in a couple of minutes for a few. And my sweet husband came home and brought us sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffins. He's so sweet. And then he says, well, I want home fries. I said, well, stay home. You can have home fries. I made lots, so there'll be some for him to heat up, or I can heat up when he gets home later. People keep talking about, silence and running and preparing and not complying. Thanksgiving. We're having Thanksgiving. We actually had Thanksgiving not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. We had our pre-Thanksgiving with family and friends. We're all safe. We would never put each other in jeopardy. This Thanksgiving, I posted a meme. I found a picture of Cuomo that my brother gave me, and it's of him peeking in a window, and I decided to put a turkey sticker up there, and just being silly, keeping our sense of humor through all this. But in all seriousness, the prepper community is binding together to make a plan for our voices to be heard. And I, for one, know that it's a great idea. It's something that has been a long time coming and needs to be done. Diamond and Silk, two wonderful ladies. They're sassy. But they, too, are saying the same thing. Stand up, fight for your country, fight for one another, fight for everything that makes America, America. Other countries, people flee here for safety. I'm not so sure that they would do that now. We have so much corruption in our government that it needs uncovered and stopped. When did we start, after September 11th, becoming this country that was so united to be so divided? Everyone has hurt feelings, or, you're racist if you say this or that, or, if you're not racist, but, there's that systemic racism. I call bullshit on it all. I really do. We grew up watching All in the Family, and it was funny. And yeah, was Archie Bunker a racist? Did he hate commies? Yeah, he did. But that's the way, that's the way my pop used to be. But also, he was a very loving man. We didn't get butthurt about, calling something gay. Well, oh, that's gay, We're not downing on people who are gay. It's just words that we've used that is going to take us a while to maybe not use. I choose not to change. I'm not a racist. I don't down on people, but there's a certain vocabulary that I have, and there's a certain way of thinking that I have, and there's a certain humor that I have, and I'm not going to change me to conform to the bullshit. I'm just not. You know, like when my older girls were in school, actually my middle daughter's in her last year, but you know, when my older girls were younger, they would started saying things to me like, "Oh, Mom, you know, you can't say that because it's offending to some people." How? Like, when did everyone become so offended about everything? And the trophies being handed out. You know, when I was in school, we had field day, and I ran the 4 miles around the track, and I was proud of myself. You know, during gym class, they said, "Why don't you go out for the, you know, the mile run or whatever," or however distance it was. I can't remember. Like I said, it was 4 times around the track, the football field. And I won 4th place, and I was disappointed, but I got my ribbon. And up until about probably 20 years ago, I still had that ribbon. I got decrepit and fell apart, and I finally just threw it out. But now it seems like just for participation, everyone gets a trophy. You have to earn that. Even if it is 4th place, you have to earn that. I'm 5'3.5", and there was a girl who was much taller and skinnier than me, and man, she could run. And there was another girl who was shorter than me, but again, she was just really tiny and she could run. I don't remember who 3rd place was, but it doesn't matter. I did the best that I could. I did also stop to take my inhaler. I should have taken it before, but who cares? You know? And disabilities doesn't mean that you can't do certain things. We have to stand up. I'm sorry, I went on a ramble. That's me. I kind of ramble. Sidney Powell, they've been talking about how Trump fired her, or she said she's not part of Trump's team. She's not getting paid to investigate what's going on with the election. She's like you and I. She is a human being who cares about people. She cares about her country. She cares about the laws. And she cares about the Constitution and everything that America stands for and on under God. She said it will be biblical. I feel in her voice and through her eyes that this woman, the things that she has seen, she has stated, she can't unsee. That is embedded not only into her brain, but her soul, and she feels deeply for our country's people. Because without people, we don't have a country. We cannot stand or sit in our recliners or our couches or at our dining room tables forever, just talking about what's going on, you know, what we can do. But that's where it starts. There's going to come a time where you're going to have to do something. My question to you is, are you ready? I don't think personally I'm ready for that yet, but I will do whatever possible for our future, for ourselves, for our kids, for our grandchildren. I have a 4-year-old grandson, 3 daughters. a husband, a mom, a dad, a stepdad. 2 of my daughters have a significant other. My brother and my sister-in-law, my mom and my stepdad come over last night, and we had dinner. And we've been doing this because after Mother's Day, after lockdown, we decided they kept us apart too long. I called my mom one day and I said, Mom, how long are we going to do this? What if this lasts another whole year? Are you going to spend another whole year away from us? And I think she thought for a minute, but she just didn't want to get us sick. She didn't know what it was. Heaven forbid, she touched something at a store that she went to, or and got sick and didn't know it, and then come over here and got us sick. I said, Mom, eventually it's possible that everybody may get this. And life is short, and we can't keep going on separating ourselves from one another. People need people. We need our family. We need our friends. We cannot stay socially distanced. We can't have forever this right here, a screen between human beings and no interaction in the flesh. We need touching. We're not going to wear masks in our home. Matter of fact, we're sick of masks. Masks don't work. The kids are in school wearing masks. They're closing schools. So what does that tell you? The masks don't work. How did we have an upkick in cases? Is it the time of year? Is it coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences. Is it the election? We're almost fine all summer long. All this fall. Until, about a couple to a few days after the election, we started finally hearing, first, it was like, wow, COVID must have just disappeared. Nobody's talking about it. I knew it was coming back. Just a matter of time. Talking about it, and then all of a sudden, this one's closing down, that one's talking about closing down. These businesses can't survive. A lot of them are already gone. These mom and pop shops who've been, 150 years in business, with family members taking over the business. Can they come back? Of course we can rebuild. When there's a hurricane or a tornado or an earthquake or a tsunami, people get through it. People survive, and people rebuild. That's what people do. We survive. It's time to start living. There was a time in my life where all I did was survive. That's what I did. Every day I woke up to just get through the day and survive. Well, I learned how to live again. All we're doing now is surviving again. Yeah, I live. I do things. I go places. I plan. I have a plan for a future, things that I want to do, things that I want to teach my family, things that I want to do with my family, memories to be made. But how are we going to do that if we let our government do what they've been doing and do what they are doing and let them do what they plan to do? If you knew what they plan to do next, or after that, in 10, 20, 30 years, are you going to be that person who sits there at your dining room table, in your recliner, and in your chairs, and has the thought of, we should have done something. We should have stood up. We shouldn't have. How did we let this happen? Well, I, for one, don't want to be that person. This is not just about an election or who wins or loses. It's about the corruption and getting to the bottom of it and not allowing bad things to happen. It's about having a voice and saying, you know what? You can't do that. It is illegal, and you can't do that. And today it's a rainy day. It's cloudy. I, for one, find the rain needed. I find it cleansing. And you have to make your own sunshine. So even though what it seems to be, you have a light inside of you to make a change. You can either choose to let it be dimmed or even get put out, or you can choose to make that light brighter. I choose to make that light brighter and to shine that light onto others. So I'm going to go wrap up some things around the house, and I'm going to take a much needed shower because I've been very busy. And then I'm going to sit down or stand and figure out what I and my family and friends can be doing other than doing the things to take care of ourselves. What is that going to matter in a year or 2 or 5 or 10 if we don't stop the stuff that is going on and has been going on? In 30 years, people in higher power have been running our schools, indoctrinating our children. Our media, our televisions have been doing the same thing. We are not mice in a maze. We are not cattle. And I don't mean to demean animals, but we too are animals. We do have brains. You know, they keep talking about our brain. It can be damaged. And I'm not talking physically. I'm talking, there's people in this world who can take a person and break them down until you have no other choice than to comply and listen to what they're telling you to do. I will not comply. I will keep my mind, I will keep my heart, and I will keep my soul. Don't let the vines get within you. You have something that lies within you that's greater than what's going on. The power that you have within is so much greater than what's going on. God has this. It's not the end. And He will see us people through. And that's it. We need to keep our heads, keep our faith, stay strong, and stay together. We need to be a nation under God that prays together, preps together, sticks together. And as some of the other preppers like to say, keep your head on a swivel. Be aware of your surroundings. Watch the people. Watch the people who are watching them and following them. Watch where the money's at. See who's doing what, for what reason. I believe that if I were to retire and already a billionaire, would I want to run a country that just tears my every being down and then continue to do so? What does he get out of it? Or ask yourself, does he just really care that much? Talking about Trump. And then Sidney Powell, the same thing. Does she just care that much? People who do good things do it because they care. It doesn't mean that they want something back. Well, have a good day. I may be back later, but I do have some things that I'd like to get done, including icing my shoulder. Just think about these things. Don't be fooled. And turn off your MSM. Have a good day.